Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Show. You can check me out at Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, Google+, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor. And I am really, really excited about this. Again, an Author's Corner segment. I'm excited to welcome to the program award-winning author of Grady Gets Glasses, Dede Rittman. Dede, thanks for calling, and how are you?
I'm great, and thanks for including Grady and me in your Friday interview. We're excited.
Oh, I'm excited as well. I mean, for our audience out there, you're already an award-winning author. Tell us a little bit about your first book, then we'll get right into Grady Gets Glasses.
Great. I was a teacher for 37 years and had to retire unexpectedly because of my husband's illness. But I missed the classroom and I missed contributing every day, so I wrote a book for student teachers called Student Teaching, The Inside Scoop from a Master Teacher. And, Neil, I'm enjoying great success.
That's great.
It's being used. It's actually I'm required reading at several universities here in Pennsylvania now, and I'm trying to extend my reach nationally. In fact, I actually have been traveling around to quite a few universities to speak to the student teachers about my book. So it's an exciting new life. It's different from teaching, but still the ability to contribute. But it's always been my life's dream to write a book for children who need glasses because I was one of those kids who needed glasses.
That's an interesting. That's an interesting part of the story, Dede, that you needed glasses. Okay, so you're going back in time.
I really am, and Neil, my brothers made fun of me and so did the other kids because I had very, very bad vision. When I got my first glasses at, I think, age 6, I can remember walking out of the doctor's office with my mother, holding her hand, and saying, "Stop walking." I said, "Why?" And I said, "You mean that regular people can see bricks on buildings and leaves on trees?" And my poor mother did not know my vision was so terrible, and she started to cry.
Oh, my.
I could even picture the coat she had on. It was a fall day. So that's a long time ago. But I remember how I felt, and Neil, to be honest, my parents had to do without, and so did my brothers, because my glasses had to be replaced all the time. My vision kept getting worse. So part of what I would like to do with Grady Gets Glasses is to make a lot of money. So I Grady Gets Glasses Foundation.
Oh, that's great.
Can't afford glasses.
So that's always great to have those ideas in mind. And again, the children's book is fantastic, and you've gotten a lot of good response so far. And we haven't even launched it nationally. It's just had a local push, and now doing this national interview and coming up to the Easter season. What a perfect time to launch the book on Amazon and all over the world. Let's kind of go into the idea you said about yourself and how you were a little nervous about getting glasses, but why the bunny? How did that kind of develop, and the whole concept?
Well, I really love rabbits.
Okay.
And I called my students my bunnies. For all the years I was a teacher, it was just a term of endearment.
Right.
Even though they were in 10th grade, Neil, you've been a teacher for years. You know that all students like to feel like they are special.
Exactly.
So I would say, "Okay, Bunny, here's what we're going to do today." And at the beginning, some of the boys were sort of like,
"What are you doing? This woman's loopy." What were they? How old were you as a teacher? How many years as a teacher you started calling your kids bunnies? And we're talking about high school students.
We are, and I'd say I probably did this for more than 30 years.
Okay.
But it's so funny because once they really knew who I was and how I cared for them, I mean, even now I'm Facebook friends with some of my former students, and they're 50 or more years old, and they'll say, "Dear Mrs. Rittman, I'm still your bunny." I mean, it still sticks after all these years.
So you're a fan of bunnies before that, then, right? Once you became a teacher as a kid.
I was. I was always a fan of bunnies, and when I turned 40 or 42, 2 of my English classes actually bought me a rabbit for my birthday.
Oh, that's so cute. So you were allowed to keep a rabbit in a high school classroom, not in a science lab, like you're an elementary school teacher. That's so cute.
No, I was not. We named her Binky Rittman, and she lived at our house, but I did take her to school on occasion.
Oh, your principal's like, no way you're keeping this, right? at the school?
No, I didn't even ask. I just knew I wanted her to be a home bunny. And Dede Rittman was very bright as a rabbit, and she was completely trainable. So she was litter box trained. I never even owned a cage for her. Because remember, when you teach 10th grade, you can tame anything. And she was just such a great pet. And she greeted us at the door when we came home, and she ate when we ate. And she even slept in bed, which was really a funny thing to have a bunny in the bed. But, you know, I started out with Grady Gets Glasses thinking that Grady might be a bear. But my illustrator, whose name is Lauren Gibbons Wood, and is a North Allegheny graduate, a graduate of Carnegie Mellon, and I've known Lauren since the day she was born. Her parents were my colleagues. So she said, Dede, when we talked about working together, she said, I know you started out thinking this is a bear, but don't you really want to have a rabbit? And I said, yes, I do, but I wasn't sure how you'd feel about drawing a rabbit. But her illustrations, and you know, you have seen them.
Yes, they're amazing. I'm checking out the website right now, again, GradyGetsGlasses.com, and it's such an unbelievable picture of the book, and the illustration is tremendous. And it's just, when I see that logo, I just say, hey, that's something special. And people have to understand that, because there's not a lot of books, children's books, about kids getting glasses at all, and the great illustrations.
You're right, and I have been reading locally a lot, preschools and elementary schools, and all kinds of venues, YMCAs, and of course next week is Read Across America. I have quite a few appointments to go into schools, but everyone loves the rabbit and the rhymes. And I neglected to say that the book is written in verse, which, you know, you have 5 children. Kids love rhymes. So there's something that they feel like they can almost do a sing-song, and Grady's so friendly. And I wanted to incorporate actual learning into the book.
That's great.
Of course, first and foremost, I'm a teacher. So Grady actually explains nearsighted and farsighted in a really simple way to understand for kids. He explains the care of and wearing of glasses, because I don't think any of your kids wear glasses, but sometimes kids don't want to wear them.
No.
So he talks about how much his glasses help him in his daily life.
Oh.
Even from feeding his fish to salting the carrot that he's cooking.
Oh,
it's very, very cute.
So, it definitely seems like something that is really, really cool and teachable. And I think when you and I have been through this journey again together of you finding a publisher and finally getting the book published and out there, that going to these classrooms when you are not an elementary school teacher and seeing these kids' eyes light up is just fabulous in just some of the schools you've already visited, it sounds like.
It is fabulous, and I never knew that I would ever be teaching a kindergarten class. I taught one on Wednesday, and it's a whole different ballgame. But yet, kids are kids no matter whether they are in kindergarten or 10th grade. So that's a basic, and I think that as a reader, and you know, that I also taught theater besides teaching English, I am, you know, I exaggerate my facial expressions and my movements, and I use a lot of vocalization techniques, and kids like that. They like to be entertained when they're being read to. So it's helping me to get a lot of success. And, you know, I did not mention this, but Grady is the first book in a series.
Oh, right. So
in the second book, Grady Gets Glasses, prequel, Why Grady Got Glasses, he's going to talk about the things that made him realize that something was wrong.
Yeah, so let's hop back a bit. I just said hop back, isn't that funny? Let's hop back a little bit for Grady Gets Glasses, and especially the character Grady. You talk about your bunny that lived in your house that your students bought you. The conceptualization of Grady. It's been a while. It's not like, okay, last year you said, okay, I'm retired. I just wrote a great student teaching book. Now I'm going to go and create a bunny named Grady. No, this has been a long time concept, hasn't it?
It has been. I actually started thinking about writing the book back in the mid-'80s. I did work on it and wrote the rhymes. But, you know, Neil, real life gets in the way. And nobody can teach English and be an author at the same time.
Right.
I don't care what they say. It's just too time-consuming.
Exactly.
Especially when I did some coaching, directing, and so on. So I really didn't have time to be an author. And that's part of the charm of it right now. I'm working, but it's at my own pace.
You're working, and it's in your own pace, and that's so important. And kind of trying to touch upon this and think about this more, Dede. I'm thinking the fact is, so when you first came up with it, was just draw a picture of Grady and say, this is Grady, and start drawing your own little pictures and figure out what how this character will develop?
I did not. Lauren and I sat down and had a long discussion, and I said I wanted Grady to look friendly, a little bit funny, but yet cute and lovable. And I wanted him to be wearing a white T-shirt with a red, white, and blue Argyle vest. And that's my tip of the hat to my connection to the golf world. And she understood what I meant, and I said he should be someone who's so approachable as far as with the kids. So he has very fat cheeks, and his one ear goes up and one ear sort of comes down. So he has a lot of great expressions, and she's just done such a great job with him. We actually also talked about the colors of the book. We wanted it to be not just a mishmash, but we wanted specific colors of the book. And Lauren even watercolored all the backgrounds of every page.
Oh, wow.
So every page is truly a work of art.
Now, and so you talked about the golf background of Grady as well. So that's the shirt, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Because you love golfing, too.
Oh, I do love golf, and I coached golf for 33 years, and I still play it at least 100 rounds a year. But Lauren drew a picture of Grady when he's in his getting ready to go to sleep. He's talking about that's the only time he doesn't wear his glasses. It's sleepy time at night. And she drew him in this adorable nightshirt, which is unisex, and it has bunnies, glasses, and Z's on it. And she has on a little nightcap. And I'm actually considering having a little Grady clothing line.
Oh, my.
Love that. And what did he say? The Argyle vest, the shirt, the little nightshirt, and the nightcap. And, you know, I'm so excited to share this with a national audience that I have ordered 500 plush Grady toy bunnies that are completely bendable to go with the book. And he is so darling. I don't think I have one on the GradyGetsGlasses.com yet, but I will put him up. He's 12 inches tall.
Oh, my.
I've been working with Dan Memorial Toys, which is the same toy maker that makes My Little Pony. And I am so pleased with the way he came out, and every single child that sees him clutches him and says, may I have him?
All right, so when we get back, we'll talk more about the character. Then I guess more the ideas of where you feel Grady's going to go next in this series of books. You're watching The Neil Haley Show, and also live on the Tool Education Network Authors Corner, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Visit the Oliver Miller Homestead, an 18th century reenactment site located just off the circle on Corrigan Drive in South Park. Self-guided tours are available each Sunday from May 1st until December 8th from 1:30 until 4:30 p.m. with guides in 18th century garb located around the grounds to answer questions and to give information. Your tour will begin in a reproduction bank barn where displays give information on the movement west. You will also see the Miller still and learn about the production of whiskey and the importance of it and of the Whiskey Rebellion to this area. Follow the Miller Trail up the path and visit the transportation shed, demonstration shed, forge, a reproduction log house, the original spring house, gardens, and finally end at the stone house. Each month, the guides host at least one special event. The homestead is also a great place for tours, tailored to the needs of school-age children, scout groups, or adults. Visit our website at www.olivermillerhomestead.org for a schedule for the year and much more information on the history of the Miller family, our organization, and pricing information.
We're back to the Neil Haley Show, and it's the Author's Corner segment. You can check me out at Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google+, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor. And I'm with Dede Rittman, author of Grady Gets Glasses, and we're learning all about the conceptualization of Grady, the idea of it. Now let's talk about the storyline and character. It's children's books. It's interesting, Dede, because it's probably 10, 12, 14 pages, but the whole process of writing it, and then now you have the character, and to think about how Grady acts, what will Grady do next, how will he feel when he first needs glasses. That's the whole part of writing this book, right?
It is. And I know I started with him getting the glasses first, but I really like the idea of the prequel, Neil, because I want kids to accept their rabbit friend who wears glasses. And then in the prequel, he's going to talk about some things that led him to actually worry a little bit. And it's all about his feelings and telling his parents. So I think the children will say, oh my gosh, if something's really wrong, or if I think something's wrong,
right.
I'm going to do what Grady did, and I'm going to talk with my parents. So that's another strength of the book, I think, that shows relationships.
It definitely seems like it shows relationships, Dede, and that's great. So take us through the first book. Grady goes to the doctor's, the optometrist. Is that what happens, and figures out he needs glasses?
No, that actually happens in the second book. But in the first book, he just says to kids, I know you, but do you know me? And he talks about his name being Grady, and he says, I see something similar about us, that we both wear glasses.
Oh, so this is after he gets the glasses. Gotcha.
Right, this is when he has just gotten them. And he talks about a person who wears glasses, whether it's a person or a rabbit. Wearing glasses makes that person or rabbit extra special. Grady has an adorable power car that Lauren drew, and she drew a picture of him driving in his power car. And when he's talking about nearsighted, he talks about how his glasses help him see everything. So it's really all about the glasses making his life better. And he talks about how he takes care of them. And there's an introduction of his family in this book. And I'm going to read just a few lines.
Okay, sure.
Your eyes may look just like your dad's, or maybe like your mother's, or blue or green, or gold or brown, or even like your brother's. And he has his baby brother that is in swaddling blue blanket, and the little kids just go crazy for this baby because his cheeks are rounded.
Right.
So the top of it's very cute. We also have a picture of Grady with three of his friends. They're all wearing glasses, by the way. A cat, a bear, a dog.
Oh, how cute. What are their names?
Oh, Lauren and I haven't decided yet. I'm going with Coco the cat, Barely the bear, and Wolfer the dog. I just think that that's what they look like to me. But in the third book, these four are going to be playing miniature golf on a bunny golf course.
Oh my! How many books are you planning on writing?
Right now, I'm going to guess that at least 6.
Okay.
But my ultimate plan, though, is that if these characters take off, I'm going to have them also made into plush animal toys, and maybe they can develop some of their own books. Neil, that's the beauty of having these creative ideas.
Yes.
I'm just not sure where I'm going. You and I have talked about this in the past.
Yes.
And doors keep opening.
Definitely do.
Walk through them. I'm excited to work. I feel like I'm making a difference for kids, so it's really worthwhile for me. But, Grady, so anyway, back to what your question was, though. He talks about, the whole thing about being special, and I like that a lot. And he talks about how much glasses help him to see. And I have to get this in here. Even when GradyGetsGlasses.com was only up for a few weeks, I actually got orders for the book from India.
Oh, wow.
And England.
See,
So
international book, and yeah. Already, before even you're up on Amazon. When are you looking at your Amazon launch?
Oh, no, I'm up on Amazon now.
You are? Okay. All right, we'll talk about that. And I guess your big season starts now, and you made a visit, so we can talk a little bit about the visits that you've made so far. But one of them was to Animal Friends. So you're in the season of bunnies. March starts at Easter, ends at the end of March. So March 1st is March Madness for you at the bunny, isn't it? And it started with this whole Animal Friends visit, right?
Yes, last Sunday was Animal Friends. And how fun. They had all the bunnies in the room with all the kids.
Oh, wow.
Me. And if people want to look at my Grady Gets Glasses Facebook page, I did post some very cute pictures with the kids and the bunnies.
How many bunnies? So Animal Friends has lots of bunnies. I didn't know that. So
They do. There was a rescue of 75 Dutch Lops, and these bunnies are so cute. Plus, there are some others there. So they had them in these little pens so that they wouldn't run all around the room. And when I was finished reading and signing books and so on, the kids and I were allowed to play with the rabbits, so it was great. To be honest, it was hard for me to go home without taking them all with me.
I don't know if some of your friends that bring dogs over would like to have a bunch of bunnies in your house, right? They wouldn't like that, would you? Huh?
I need to have a pet rabbit right now. They do require a lot of time.
Well, you're too busy, Dede. You're always going. I mean, you try to get a hold of you, and you're somewhere crazy every day, and something interesting always going on. So your visits with the kids, you talked about kindergarten, but one was a virtual visit for Grady Gets Glasses, and that's something that's changed this, not just visiting physical classrooms, but now online you can visit them through Field Trip Zoom. That's an interesting component of this, right? That now you can travel all over the world with Field Trip Zoom. Mm-hmm.
I'm partnering with Field Trip Zoom, and they are at www.fieldtripzoom.com, and they offer unbelievable virtual field trips, Neil. You can bring museums, zoos, art galleries right into your classroom, and their fees are very nominal. So I did my first virtual field trip with a kindergarten class on Wednesday morning, and the kids were so excited. And I let them read the kids with my rabbit ears on. I have these bright yellow ones with marabou, and they got a big laugh out of that. But it's through smartboard technology.
That's great.
So I actually made the book into a PowerPoint, and I was able to bring up the pages onto their whiteboard and share my screen so that all the kids could see Grady in full living color on the giant whiteboard.
So because there's a big screen smartboard, kids really think that you're there, right? Even though you're not physically there. And that's what the Field Trip Zoom is able to do that you explain so well, is that if you go to a museum or you go to a specific place, that you watch a video of it, let's just say the 9/11 Museum, for example, in New York City. If you're watching a video, it's different if Field Trip Zoom is there where you're interacting. I think that interaction changes the whole ball game, doesn't it? Because that's the fun thing about virtual is it's real. You just can't touch the person, but everything else is available to them.
I even made a little introductory PowerPoint for the kids, and I said, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then I have a little logo of the Pirates and the Steelers and the Penguins and a bottle of Heinz ketchup because that's something that kids can identify with.
Right.
And I actually give them this little background about I needed to wear glasses, and then I show pictures of Dede Rittman. So it's my introductory part to tie it all together so that they know why I wrote the book about a rabbit and what I hope to accomplish. So I'm, in essence, setting my objectives for the lesson, and then we do the lesson interactively. And Neil, I like to tease them a little bit and say, okay, get ready for the next picture. You're going to see Grady's baby brother. And it's their reactions are so funny. Of course, you taught elementary, and I didn't, so you're accustomed to this, but it just makes me laugh out loud. They're delightful.
They are delightful, and specifically during cold and flu season, if you can use Field Trip Zoom, you're not going to, the presenters aren't going to get sick. That's a good thing.
Right, isn't that the truth? And Neil, I actually already did another Field Trip Zoom in higher ed. I spoke to the student teachers at Mansfield State University a few weeks ago, and it's great to be able to share experiences with kids young and older, even the student teachers, because I have something that I want to offer, and they really like it.
Yes.
So doing that virtually is just like being there. So you're right. Who knew all those years ago when I started to teach that the technology would be like this?
It's definitely, and it needs to be utilized more and more. And I think that just to put your sport board up and maybe throw a video on or not utilize it, bringing this field trip to the mix. And I think selling the fact that, getting an author coming, that's great and everything, but having the ability to do everything and then utilize technology as well in this process. And teachers have lesson plans for Grady Gets Glasses as well that they could teach their kids and use based on the standards and all those different things. Fantastic. Dede, best place we can find information on you, learn more about your books and who you are. Where can we go?
I have two websites, DedeRittman.com for my student teaching book and GradyGetsGlasses.com for Grady Gets Glasses. And I also do an inspirational blog every Monday, bunnyteacher.blogspot.com. It's also on DedeRittman.com. And Neil, you are the best host I know.
No. I don't want to hear that. It's my guests who make me sound okay. It's the people who I get to talk to and all that stuff. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm excited to see where you're growing. I mean, thinking about when I just interviewed you for your student teaching book, and twice I interviewed you, but you weren't talking about all of these opportunities, and you also your number of Twitter followers and the people really just getting with you and just being excited at Dede Rittman. They can follow you on Twitter and all those and connect with you.
I hit 11,000 today.
Oh, that's great. The 11,000 mark. Fantastic. All right, Dede, so take care and we'll talk soon, okay? All right, see you. You're welcome. All right, bye. You too. All right, that was the Neil Haley Show. Take care, guys, and we'll next week with another great show. Take care, everyone.